Hello everybody, my name is Terendi. Today I will presentation about the modernism and literature in 1920 until 1945. Modernism can be broadly defined as the multinational cultural movement that took hold in the late 19th century and reached its empyrean on the eve of World War One, turning away from British poet Alfred Lord Tennyson's elegant mode and the habit of reviling in self-pity. There was a shift to a kind of intellectual and complex poetry of John Donne. The unified sensibility of metaphysical thoughts, which has been reminisced in English literature since 17th century. In the early 20th century, novelists such as Henry James and Virginia Woolf's experiment with shifts in time and narrative points of view. The most striking feature of 20th century English literary history was the revolution of poetic taste and practice, rejecting the view of poetry professed by Palgrave's Golden Treasury in favor of one which saw poetry become more symbolist and cerebral. T.S. Eliot, who had just settled in England prior to the First World War and would later give up his American citizenship for a British residence, and Ezra Pound, the literary gadfly, whose presence ruffled quite a few literary theatres in 1912, were the major proponents of modernism. Thomas Terence Eliot was born in St. Louis, Missouri on September 26, 1888. In 1909, Eliot graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree from Harvard University. At Harvard, he was greatly influenced by professors renowned in poetry, philosophy, and literary criticism, all of which would shape him in the years to come. When in France, Eliot began a lifelong friendship with Ezra Pound, who immediately recognized his poetic genius. Eliot published the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock in Poetry in 1915. His anthology, Prufrock and Other Observations, 1917, contained his finest dramatic monologues. The love song of J. Alfred Prufrock and Portrait of a Lady in 1920 poems appeared, and it comprised of Genoncian, his longest poem. This poem was a blank verse interior monologue and unlike anything that had previously been seen. The work picturized Europe after World War I through the eyes of an elderly man who had lived a majority of his life in the 19th century. The poem interprets the doom of Christianity from the viewpoint of the modernism individual with various references to the incarnation and salvation. In 1922, the wasteland creates ripples almost immediately, developing a cult-like following from all literary corners with its colossal and complex examination of post-war disillusionment. The Wasteland is often considered the most influential poetic work of the 20th century. The Hollow Man to surface in 1925. The poets also edit the literary journal The Criterion, spanning in 1922 until 1939. He also shepherded several young poets at the publishing house Faber and Faber. Eliot's major later poems include Ash Wednesday in 1930 and Four Quartets in 1943. During his period, he also wrote the use of poetry and the use of criticism in 1933. After Strength's Guts in 1934 and Notes Toward the Definition of Culture in 1940. For his mammoth influence in poetry, criticism, and drama, T.S. Eliot received the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1948. Okay, that's all for my presentation. I could say thank you for your attention, everyone, and see you later. Bye.